Hey guys, this is Antoine coming at you with another Geek Rant. So today, the last issue of Son of Dathomir came out. It's the comic book that, or actually a comic series that was supposed to be season 6 of the Clone Wars, but of course, as we know, Clone Wars got canceled in its 6th season and because of the whole Disney thing. And so they just, they made the storyline of Darth Maul into this book, or the series of comic books. So basically it takes place right after the episode where Sidious kills Savage Opress and takes Maul in as a captive, and he says, I have plans for you. So we kind of find out what those plans are in this series. Essentially what Sidious is trying to do is he's trying to find Mother Talzin, because he feels like her power is actually starting to match his own. And so he's using Darth Maul sort of to smoke out Mother Talzin so he can find her and confront her, which is exactly what happens in the last issue. It's this big battle between Mother Talzin, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Sidious, and it's this big battle. So our main protagonist is Maul. We're basically following him throughout the whole story and seeing kind of his journey and his perspective on all this. And I still feel kind of bad for him, because I still feel he was being used. He's being used by Talzin, he's being used by Sidious. He still hasn't really found his own yet, which might be a good thing because he still has growth after this series. We see that he's very capable in combat and that he is, a little bit of a leader now, but he's still, I think he still needs to find his own identity. He always is looking up to someone. He's looking up to Sidious, he's looking up to Mother Talzin, but I feel like he still needs his own thing, and I think he was starting to get that when he was kind of being the master to Savage Opress. He was becoming his own man, or sorry, his own Zabrak. But yeah, I would like to see him grow a little bit more. So in the series, we do see Maul fight General Grievous. He even fights Mace Windu and Aayla Secura at the same time, and pretty much gets the upper hand until his Mandalores come and help him, which is extremely significant because you're fighting Mace Windu and Aayla Secura at the same time, and you're contending with him. It was only for a short panel, which is kind of a criticism I have of the whole comic series, is that their action sequences were there's all this builds up and this hype to it, and then they get to the action piece at the end of each comic, and it was kind of meh, it left a lot to be desired. Each battle was maybe a page at best usually, except for the last book there was a longer bit of a battle, but it was pretty much the same thing. We also get some more insights into Dooku. He fails again in this book, and Sidious is disappointed in him, and even Grievous has a sideways remark about Dooku slipping and stuff like that, which could kind of make sense because by episode 3, Sidious is very eager to replace Dooku with Anakin Skywalker, of course. So that kind of makes sense that to see all these examples of him slipping up and Sidious wanting just to get rid of him. However, in the last issue, Sidious does sort of, in a roundabout way, compliments Dooku's dueling ability. So that's something for Dooku. We already knew that. We already knew that he's an established duelist and one of the top duelists of all of Star Wars. But to have Sidious kind of sort of confirm it is, kind of rewarding. And also General Grievous gets some pretty good playtime in this comic series too. We actually see him, being extremely capable, kind of like he was in the original 2D Clone Wars series, where he was just, wreaking havoc and killing people left and right. That was really good because in the Clone Wars 3D series, he's kind of a wimp. He can barely defeat Tano, and Kit Fisto beats him. It's come on, what are you doing, Grievous? You're much better than this. But in this comic series, I think they respect him a lot more, and he does a lot more, especially in the last issue. But overall, I don't know if I can really recommend it. If you're a fan of Darth Maul, I would definitely recommend it. But if you're not, I think you can pass this one up. It has a lot of hype, and none of that hype was really fulfilled. The whole premise of the series was that we're gonna find out this big reveal about Darth Maul's past, but the reveal isn't really that significant. You can kind of probably guess it if you think about it hard enough. But yeah, if you're a Darth Maul fan, read it. If you're not, you can pass it. I would say wait for the comic books that are coming out next year, the Star Wars ones with Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and Leia and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the first official piece of work to be done in the new canon, and it was kind of lackluster. It wasn't completely terrible. It was still worthwhile, I guess, but it was all right. Yeah, I would give it a 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to be doing a review of Legend of Korra as well. That's going to be on this weekend sometime, so keep a lookout for that. But as always, peace, love, and may the Force be with you. Always. Vader can match the speeds of a faster duelist, and Vapad's use can only be used effectively in short bursts. Therefore, I do not think Windu's use of Form 7 would trump Darth Vader alone. In this special video, my first Geek Rant, as I'll call it, I'll be discussing the dark side versus the light side. Alright, cool. So you're Hagrid, I am the boy who lived. So I cheated a little bit. I played last night just to see how to play.
Oh